Right, guys, good morning. We are going to be working on our ELA week unit 3, week 5 for Wednesday. After we do that, we have PE today, then we have math 11-5 at 10:15. 12 o'clock, I'll have my ELD students return. 12:45, everyone needs to come back. Yesterday, I did not have all students come back. At 12:45, I need all of you guys in class to come back because we have a quiz in history today. Then and I have to put the video. So if you missed class yesterday, there will be a YouTube video up for that. And then we have art, health, or social emotional learning. You guys can talk about the YouTube or the Kahoot that we did in class today. And then at the end of the day, you're going to read any book you'd like for 20 minutes. Let's get started with our story for today. We're only going to be reading the first one, Many Ways to Enjoy Music. If you guys have your book, you can get it out. It's your literature anthology. It's going to be the bigger of the two textbooks you have.
Read.
And then we are on page 294. We are on page 294.
Genre, expository text, time for kids. Many ways to enjoy music.
How do you express yourself? Read about how people express themselves through music.
How do deaf music lovers enjoy concerts?
So a deaf person is someone who cannot hear or who is hard of hearing.
At a concert, loud music booms from the stage. The band rocks their guitars and other instruments. Drums pound and clash. The fans clap and sing. Their ears are buzzing when the concert is over. However, you don't need to listen up to enjoy a music concert. Many people who are unable to hear love going to concerts. At this rock concert, a deaf fan sensed the excitement. She saw the band take the stage. She cheered by shaking her fist in the air. Her big smile showed that she really loved the concert. Caption: A deaf fan and her son enjoy a concert. They sat in seats close to an interpreter.
And then we're going to be learning about an interpreter right here. So an interpreter is a person who uses sign language to show the words of the song. So we have learned a little bit of sign language in our class. A, B, C, D. Oh, sorry, D. Okay. So people use sign language that can't hear so that they can still understand people, so that they can still communicate with people.
Making music. At some concerts, rock bands perform. At others, orchestras play. An orchestra is a group of musicians playing instruments together. Most orchestras have 4 sections. Here is a look at the number of instruments in each section. Orchestra instruments. Sections: string, woodwind, brass, percussion. Watching the signs. One way deaf people enjoy a concert is by watching an interpreter. Interpreters use body movements like swaying or jumping to communicate what is happening on stage. By watching interpreters move, fans can understand what the band is singing. An interpreter is a person who uses sign language to show the words of the song. Rock and relax. Another way for deaf people to enjoy a concert is with technology. A special chair moves with the music's rhythm. A loud pounding sound makes the chair beat hard. Deaf fans feel the rhythm on their backs. Low, quiet sounds makes the chair beat softer. The fans can feel the rhythm on the lower parts of their bodies. Interpreters and technology are just some of the many ways deaf people can enjoy a concert.
Awesome. So the next story is going to be called A Musical Museum. If you want to read about it, you can do that on your own. What we're going to do now is we're going to move on to your CRC. Okay. Now for your CRC today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at your answers so that you guys can see where to go for that again. So you're going to go to Google Classroom. You're going to click on classwork. You're going to scroll all the way up to the top. You're going to click on CRC and your turn answers for ELA. It was posted September 23rd. It's the third one from the top of resource links. CRC, your turn answers for ELA. You're going to click on the one for CRC answers. So if you guys need to find out the answers as you guys are working on this, because this is going to be an independent activity, I'm just going to go over the answers with you. You're going to do this asynchronously. Then this is where you're going to go to find those answers. Okay. So it's on page 95. 95. Okay, Danica, make sure you're on task. Many ways to enjoy music. What does the author want readers to know about deaf music lovers? Look at the photographs on page 295 and 297. What are the deaf people doing? So let's look at the pictures on 295 and 297. So here on 295, a deaf fan and her son enjoy a concert. They sat in seats close to an interpreter. And then here we have on 297, the movement helps users feel what the music expresses. These chairs really rock. So it looks like she's listening to music by feeling it through her body. So they can sense the energy at the concerts. We read that on page 295. They can see an interpreter use sign language to show what the song is talking about, what the singers are singing. And then they can feel the music beats through a special chair. So deaf music lovers can experience music or concerts. The author wants readers to know that deaf music lovers can enjoy going to concerts and listening to music too. So this is going to be an asynchronous activity. You guys are going to do this on your own. You guys can write more or less than what is written here. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can pause the video to work on this on your own pace. Okay, page 96. How are different ways to help deaf people enjoy music similar? Reread pages 296 to 297. Discuss with a partner the different ways a deaf person can experience music. Write what deaf music lovers can do with an interpreter, a special chair, and both. Learn the lyrics, see movement, see rhythmic swaying. Let's go to the special chair. You can feel the rhythm, feel the sound waves, feel how loud or quiet the music is. And for both an interpreter and a special chair, you can experience the rhythm. The ways to help deaf people enjoy music all help them experience the rhythm. And let's go ahead and actually reread through 296 and 297 for that.
Making music. At some concerts, rock bands perform. At others, orchestras play. An orchestra is a group of musicians playing instruments together. Most orchestras have 4 sections. Here is a look at the number of instruments in each section. Orchestra instruments. Sections: string, woodwind, brass, percussion. Watching the signs. One way deaf people enjoy a concert is by watching an interpreter. Interpreters use body movements like swaying or jumping to communicate what is happening on stage. By watching interpreters move, fans can understand what the band is singing. An interpreter is a person who uses sign language to show the words of the song.
So you'll notice in the orchestra instruments, there's a lot of strings. There's like 65 people who play the strings, or 65 different strings like violins, woodwinds like clarinets or flutes, brass, Actually, I don't know what brass instruments would be. I think it would be like a saxophone, tuba, a cornet, a trumpet, a trombone, or a horn. So like these are brass instruments right here. So trumpets, horns, trombones, French horns, those are all going to be examples of brass instruments that you might see at a concert. Now, the reason why there are a lot more strings than any other ones is because the other ones can be very loud, and also strings are they're all beautiful. They all make beautiful sounds, but in order to make sure that everyone's instrument can be heard, you want to make sure that there is a lot of strings. There's only about 15 woodwinds, about 14, 13 brass, and then only 5 percussion. Percussion is going to be like drums. Now, drums are very, very loud, which is why you don't need that many of them. All right, I just saw that we had another friend come in. Erin, make sure that you're in class on time. You're very late. So it looks like we only have one more person absent. All right, let's keep going.
Rock and relax. Another way for deaf people to enjoy a concert is with technology. A special chair moves with the music's rhythm. A loud pounding sound makes the chair beat hard. Deaf fans feel the rhythm on their backs. Low, quiet sounds makes the chair beat softer. The fans can feel the rhythm on the lower parts of their bodies. Interpreters and technology are just some of the many ways deaf people can enjoy a concert. Caption: the movements help users feel what the music expresses. These chairs really rock.
All right. So then the next pages for your CRC is going to be on the musical museum, which you guys are going to read on your own and do on your own. And then 99 will be your integrate. How are the women in the painting expressing themselves through music? Talk about how deaf people express themselves through music in many ways to enjoy music. They listen to the sound vibrations. They watch people use sign language. Discuss what musical instruments the women in the painting are playing. So let's look. This Japanese print called a ukiyo-e shows a gathering of women playing a variety of musical instruments. So there looks like this one is some type of string. This one is some type of guitar. Circle clues that help you figure out how the women in the painting feel about the music they are playing. Well, it looks like they're kind of smiling. It looks like this person is really enjoying listening to the music. The women in the painting are expressing themselves by playing musical instruments, enjoying the garden. It looks like they're in some kind of garden, and drinking tea. All right, guys. The next thing that we're going to be moving on to is going to be your turn. So go ahead and take out your turn. Type in the chat. Are you going to be using your workbook? Put a W. Are you going to be using Kami? Put a K. If you're using your workbook or Kami, we're on page 147 of your turn workbook. 147. And then as a reminder, to get to your Kami, your turn, you're going to scroll down to ELA, find your turn workbook pages. It's right between selfie writing and fluency reading score. This is if you're using Kami. If you're using your workbook, you're just going to head straight to page 147. Sometimes if you're using Kami and it takes you all the way to the top, I'll just like type in this little black box down at the bottom. And in the little black box, we're at page 156 or 166. Oh, no, I don't know what I'm doing. 156. We're on page 156 if you're using Cami and you're trying to find the page, but it's down here. It says page 147 on the actual pages. Okay, warm up to sing. Many singers warm up their voices before they sing. This stretches out their muscles. Humming is one way to warm up. Blowing air through the lips is another way. Blowing air through the lips is like this, like that. Singing the musical scales warms up the voice too. Like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's a musical scale. How do you know this is expository text? It gives you real facts and real information. So everyone go ahead and write that down. Real facts and information. I'm not writing a complete sentence. However, if you're a fluent writer, then you should be writing a complete sentence. What I mean by a fluent writer means that you're already done writing by the time I'm ready to move on. So if you're done writing it and I'm still looking at question number 1, that means you're a fluent writer, which means that I recommend that you write a complete sentence because you can write it quickly and still understand what you're writing. So you could say, I know this is an expository text because it gives us real facts and information. It also includes a chart. And here is that chart. It's a bar graph. It says minutes, so either 15, 10, or 5, and then the different warm-up exercises. So there's humming, using your lips to blow air through them, and doing your scales. So it looks like maybe how many minutes you should practice using those. So for humming, you should practice for 5 minutes. For lips, you should warm up for 10 minutes. And for scales, you should warm up for 10 minutes. So what information can you learn from the bar graph? How many minutes to warm up? How many minutes to warm up? And then warm up is going to be a combined word. And I didn't write a complete sentence, so I'm not going to add that period. If you are a fluent writer, or if you just want to practice your sentence writing, maybe you want to practice your sentence writing and you're going to work on it later, you can write, from the bar graph, I learned how many minutes you should warm up when humming, blowing air through your lips, and singing your scales. And then the last question before we go to the next page, how much time do singers spend singing scales? Can anyone read this chart for me and type it in the chat? How many minutes do singers need to sing their scales? Does anyone know how to read that? Very good, Ava, 10. So I'm gonna write 10 minutes. And then MIN just stands for minutes. It is an abbreviation. All right, the answers are in the chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can pause the video if you need more time. I'm gonna move on to the next page, page 148. To figure out a new word, look for a prefix or word part at the beginning of the word. The prefix re means again. The prefix un means not. The prefix dis means opposite of. Read each sentence, underline the word that has a prefix, then write the word and its meaning. When the strings stop moving, the sound is discontinued. Which one has a prefix? It is going to be discontinued. So you're going to underline the word that has a prefix. And then we're going to write the word and its meaning. We're actually not going to write the word. We're just going to write the meaning. Or not really the meaning. We're just going to tell us what dis means. So opposite of. So discontinued means opposite of continued. It's stopped. opposite of continue. Okay, number 2, you cover and uncover the finger holes using the keys. The one with the prefix is uncover, and the prefix un means not. So uncover must mean not cover. Number 3, can one of you guys unmute and tell me which is the word with the prefix? It has an uneven number of vowels, 3. Can you unmute?
Uneven.
Very good, uneven. And then can you type in the chat, what does uneven, what does the prefix of un mean? So what are we gonna write here? Blank even. Very good, Ava, not even. Okay, someone else. Now let's review the instruments we read about. What is the prefix, the word with the prefix in number 4? Oh, I just got really cool information for you guys. Academic Services was able to secure and purchase a series of fun classes through Mad Science, Phoebo Art, and a coding program for you guys. Your first enrichment course is going to be called Mad Science. That is so fun. You can pick up, and there's going to be science kits you guys can pick up at Tracy High School starting, I think, next week, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. I'll send you guys all the information. Students will be able to attend 3 math science classes once per week after synchronous classes starting at 12:30. So it's going to be at 12:30. So I might have to move your history time. The activities and attendance of math science can also, okay, well, that's not for you guys. Please check the attached flyer to see when your kids will be attending, and please post the flyer and pick up times in your Google Classroom. How exciting. Okay, so we have, awesome. So if you like Phoebo Art or coding, that's gonna come next. So you guys are gonna be doing all of them. That is so exciting. Okay, so sorry, I got distracted. So I will send all that information after we do this. Okay, so let's finish up. We have 2 more questions. We have review, which means to review again. I'll explain it. Review again. And then no one can disagree. And then it's disagree, and dis means opposite of. So disagree means opposite of agree. So number 3 is not even. Number 4 is review again. Number 5 is opposite of agree. Okay, I'm going to put all that answer in the chat for you. I'm sorry, answer all of that information in the chat for you guys about the math science, because you guys will need to pick up your kits next week. Let's see. While I'm doing that, it looks like we have about 20-ish minutes in class left. So in your breakout rooms, you guys are going to work on your practice spelling test. I don't think we're going to have time to get through your vocabulary or your grammar and mechanics. So I just need one person in the breakout room to share their screen, and then you guys can all help spell out the words. So you guys can either take turns, or you guys can call out, whatever works the best. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys into your breakout rooms so that you guys can work on your spelling.